Hello to you. Well, it's the 6th of March 2011, week 13. I wanted to give you a bit of an update. Last week, great week, a lot of challenges as well. I think the first thing was with regards to the sales, the yellow sheet that you spoke about. I've continued to work on that. I've continued with my telephone calls, my meetings. I met with clients. And when you're dealing with international sales, it's a long pipeline, a long lead time. I call it a long tail, but it's starting to pay its dividends now. And I really am building up a long pipeline of clients that are very, very interested, including actually flying to Australia tomorrow with a client to look at a number of investment opportunities, get a good feel for the market. We've got a lot of people waiting to feel and find out what it is that I find from the research point of view, what the risks are and what the opportunities are. I also spent a significant amount of time last week dealing with my Australian partners and also training salespeople, because at the end of the day I want to build that sales pipeline. So that was one of the main focuses. The other thing that I got last week when we finalized was the dates for our sales and marketing course. We're going to call it Double Your Sales. It's going to be a 2-day course. It's going to be action-packed, full of everything that I've learned from some of the best minds in America, some of the thought leaders from around the world, some of the amazing things that Hannes has achieved in his sales career, and then a lot of most of the things that I've achieved in my sales career. You know, at the age of 33, I've sold over 2,000 international properties to 1.6 billion rands worth of value. I certainly know a thing or two about sales, and I look forward to teaching you and collaborating and working with Hannes to bring you the latest. But at the end of the day with sales, there's age-old techniques you need to use, there's skills, there's processes you need to learn, and then there's the modern cutting-edge social media, Google Analytics, Google AdWords, and effectively e-marketing and internet marketing. We're going to collaborate all of them so that you can get a powerful view on marketing and sales, and at the end of the day you can double your sales, because that is what we will be providing you with, the skills and the attitude. So the 6th and 7th of April, that is when we'll be running the course. Watch this space, we will be sending you more information. The third thing is, I was listening to a book on one of my runs this week, and they spoke about the guy Chicken Soup for the Soul. Now, he's written one of the best motivational books, and he actually went up to Tony Robbins years ago and he said, I only earn $1 million a year and you earn $174 million a year. What are you doing differently? And Hannes Dreyer has actually spoken about this, and he said, who's in your brain's trust? Who are you getting information from? How can you get better with regards to that information? And at the end of the day, I meet every Wednesday morning with a very successful entrepreneur, a friend of mine, and we were thrashing out ideas. And in the last week, we came up with 2 fantastic ideas. Now, I know with momentum and products, it's all about getting one step in a row and starting to earn money. But at the end of the day, there's a long pipeline of great ideas. And it's amazing when you've got someone to interact with and bounce those ideas. The fourth thing was webinars. I thought on Tuesday evening we had a very powerful webinar. People sent through their information. It was all about credit loan accounts and trusts and structuring. I've looked at these different courses so many times, and yet every time I learn more information, and I really thought it was a very, very valuable webinar by Hannes. I'm also glad to say that we've got 2 more webinars which will be coming up in March. One where Hannes will be interviewing me with regards to offshore property and all the benefits of how to invest offshore, what you need to know, the fact that 80% of people actually lose money, and how to actually achieve what it is you're looking to achieve. Things like wealth preservation, peace of mind, and a plan B. And then Hannes, I'll be interviewing him on how you actually analyze an opportunity, how one goes out and buys auction property and repossessed property, and how you analyze that opportunity to see whether it's a good investment. And I really think both of those will be incredibly powerful and provide you with great skills that will be of a lot of value to you. The fifth thing for me was a very interesting, bittersweet moment. I worked on a development since March 2009. We've sold over 80 units there. I found out on Thursday that development has actually been cancelled completely. It's been treading on thin ice for quite a while because the 2 development partners have been fighting. Hannes comes back to it and says, if you can't control it, it's one of the 3 keys. And if you can't control it, you shouldn't do it. Well, here's a classic example. I had no control. 2 partners are having a fight, and they finally decided to can the investment. I lost over R1 million in done work commissions that was owed to me when that property transferred. But you know, at the end of the day, yes, I'm upset about the R1 million, but I've also got this gut feel that I should have been pulling out of this project a long time ago. It just didn't feel right. The negative energy, dealing with all these parties, I didn't really want to be involved in it. I certainly don't want to be involved in new developments going forward. I don't think they're a good investment for the investor. I certainly don't think they're a good investment for the client because I have no control of it. And lastly, I don't get paid, so it really doesn't make any business sense whatsoever. So another R1 million left on the table. I really would like to estimate, but it's certainly over 10 million rand we've lost in the last 2 years, and development's not going ahead. But I think also what's very, very important there was I actually feel bloody good. It's so nice to know that my gut feel was telling me something. It's gone ahead, and the project's been taken off the table, and I actually feel so good about not having to deal with it or worry about it. The next thing is with regards to was a marathon. I've set my power goals this year. I told you about it. I set them right in January about how I wanted to do comrades to achieve the uprun, because I haven't done it. Well, I've done it before, but I failed at 62 kilometers due to cramping problems. Well, on Friday evening I got an email saying that I need to qualify by the 16th of March for the Two Oceans, and therefore if you qualify for Two Oceans you qualify for comrades as well. And I fly to Australia tomorrow, and so had a bit of a challenge. Looked for a marathon, found one on Sunday, and I think there's very few people out there that decide to do a marathon less than 48 hours before the actual event. But I love the symbolization of the formula for riches. You know, at the end of the day, my intent is to do the Comrades Uprun. My belief is that I can do it, and my focus was that I need to qualify. So I woke up Sunday morning, I went and I did the marathon. And you know, at the end of the day, I certainly didn't win the marathon. I didn't set any records. In fact, I actually came second last. I managed to qualify with 15 seconds, and the only reason I came second last was with about 10 meters to go I ran past an African lady, and so I didn't come stone last. But you know, it was touch and go at one time, but I did it. My intent was to qualify, and I qualified. My legs are pretty sore. It was a hot day, and it really was a tough day. But you know, I learned a couple of lessons, and one of the parables that I learned in this was my parable on life and wealth creation. And you know, at the end of the day, you've just got to put one foot in front of the other. You've got to believe in your intention, and ultimately you will achieve your goal, and you will get there. And even if it's only by 15 seconds, I knew what the goal was, and I made sure I achieved it. And then lastly, the last lesson I want to share with you as a life coach. Now, I believe so much in life coaching. I've been involved in it, and I think it's incredibly powerful. I've been working with a life coach now for a while. She actually deals with adult children, which is another whole element. Should you be interested, give me a shout. But she's really started to get into my emotional beliefs. Doing the power morphing weekend last weekend, there's been a lot of thoughts in me. What are my resistors? What are some of the emotional beliefs that are holding me back? And I worked with my life coach on this, and I had a breakthrough moment last week. I actually followed that up. It was incredibly emotional and very, very enlightening, basically, to understand one of the beliefs that's been holding me back so much and driving my life out of fear. And you know, that's one of the things Hannes spoke about in the Master Challenge, and the impact that that's having on me from a financial and business perspective in terms of achieving my goals. And then lastly, I spoke to Hannes about it, and we went into depth about what that belief was, and how all beliefs and everything that's actually happened to you are good. And even if it, you know, you look at something, whether it was bad or whether it was good, it's perfect, because at the end of the day, it makes me who I am today. And Hannes gave me an exercise to write out 250 things that happened because of that situation that I benefited from. And I've given that a lot of thought, and I've done that exercise, and very, very powerful how you can actually change that belief. So to those of you going on the power morphing this weekend, enjoy it. Very, very interesting week. I am making a lot of progress. I'm off to Australia tomorrow to go and look at the market, as I said to you. And so I look forward to bringing you next week's update from Australia. But watch this space. We've got some very exciting things coming up, both within Wealth Creators University, the Double Your Sales course, some very exciting webinars coming up. If it's interesting you, let us know about it. If it's going to benefit other people, let them know about it. We're here to help. Tell us how we can help more. We're willing to do it. And hopefully, with some of my own personal experiences, it's driving you, it's motivating you. You see that it's not all rosy. And sometimes in life, it's like a marathon. You've got to put one foot in front of the other to get to the destination. Thank you. Sorry, there was one last thing I wanted to add. I was so engrossed in my marathon, I nearly forgot. I purposely stood here on the balcony with this beautiful African sunset behind me. And the reason I did it, well, yes, it's my very last weekly update from this balcony. Next week I'll be in Australia, and then we'll be actually on our way down to Cape Town. I'm very excited. On Saturday we signed our lease. It's a done deal. Once again, the intent was to get to Cape Town. It looks like we're on our way. So as of the 1st of April, I'll be living on Cape Town, on the beach. Hopefully today or tomorrow we'll be signing the lease, but we found our house. It's possible. Watch the space, because I'm sure you can live anywhere you want to. Thank you.